I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Batman issue number 37. As the double date of the century continues, what new shenanigans will our heroic couples get themselves into? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Alright, so having reconnected in the previous issue, Batman and Catwoman, joined by Superman and Lois Lane, have decided to hit the town for the night. The fair is in Gotham City, and wouldn't you know it, it's superhero themed. And hey, the pimply-faced nerd who runs the front door takes this theme very seriously, not letting anyone in unless they're in costume, despite the fact that this is Gotham and Bruce is a super rich celebrity. But hey, let's totally brush that aside for a minute, or else the charming plot won't be able to take place. It's Catwoman, devious schemer that she is, who comes up with the idea of, hey, we have a couple superhero costumes between us, we can get in, we just might have to trade. And hey, because there's multiple canon instances of Batman and Superman trading costumes because they have essentially the same build, they're able to do that. This also leads to a truly hilarious scene of the two guys talking about what their symbol means. That S, it stands for hope, you know, and the bat, oh well, it stands for a bat. Lois also gets to try on Catwoman's, catsuit for the lack of a better word, and you know what, well, Selina always gets recognized as a comic book sex symbol. I think way too many people sleep on Lois. I mean, not only does she fill out that costume very nicely and respectably, but hey, she also does so after having a kid. Good on her. The main focus of this issue really seems to be how the two different couples interact with one another. First up, they hit the tunnel of love, and well, Clark and Lois are just super happy to have a couple's night to themselves. Bruce and Selina take this opportunity to knock some superhero boots, showing that hey, you can be in love, you can be in lust, and you can be in a little of both at once. Now from there, the two super guys decide to take to the batting cages. They both think they're way above this, what with their skills and powers giving them an edge, but they also argue that in a real game of baseball, the Man of Steel could totally strike out the Dark Knight. Bruce disagrees though. This kind of being a fun little microcosm of all the arguments fans have over whether Batman could beat Superman in a fight if he only had prep time. However, it's the stuff with the gals I'm truly fascinated with. They bond, have a little chat over a flask that Lois has snuck in her purse, which is kind of awesome. What do you think Lois drinks? Is it whiskey like General Lane would have done? Is it peppermint schnapps because she's fun? Or is it an old-fashioned because, well, she's a classy lady, as I've already said? Mostly they talk about why they picked the guys they did, and how when you break it down, it doesn't make much sense. Batman and Catwoman are ultimately a lot alike. You know, despite a couple glaring issues here and there, but Superman and Wonder Woman are so different, and the fact that they're together proves that pretty much anything can happen. This issue too also thankfully tackles the question that was hanging in my mind since the whole marriage was announced, and that is, how would everyone in the superhero community feel with Batman marrying a convicted criminal? They say when you break it down, it's ultimately no different than Superman, a hero obsessed with protecting his identity at all costs, marrying a journalist whose job it is to expose the truth. So, you know, the heart wants what it wants, even that which is worst for it, if I may get all literary on you for a minute. The night is ultimately capped off by some goober in a Question costume. Oh, I thought it was really the Question for a second, trying to steal Lois's purse only to get beamed with a baseball from far away. This once again restarts the baseball rivalry between Batman and Superman, who opt to trade costumes and try to see who the better pitcher-batter is. And it's right around there, the comic. And so that's Batman number 37, everybody, and overall I am happy to say I really enjoyed this issue as well. Perhaps not as much as the one that preceded it, but still, I liked this one a whole lot. It's hard to believe that to get Batman and Catwoman to start acting and talking like normal people, all it took was for Tom King to bring in the super journalist and the Superman. Actually, in a weird way, this issue kind of makes it out to seem like Tom King thinks of Clark and Lois as more down-to-earth and more human than he does think Batman and Catwoman are. Beyond that, it's just filled with a ton of really good gags, some good laughs, some nice little heart-tugging moments. Yeah, this one hits a lot of the right buttons. It took me a while, but in the span of 2 issues, I think Tom King has officially got me on board with the Batman-Catwoman marriage storyline. And hey, if nothing else, he even makes fun of War of Jokes and and riddles in this issue, proving that this writer and hopefully the rest of this story is going to be more self-aware. Overall, I'd give this one a solid 8 out of 10. So that's Batman, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the issue, and as always, be sure to take a look at some of these other videos I have. Then you can follow me on Twitter so you always know when new content is coming out from me. And hey, if you like my videos and want to show your support, you can always become a patron. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1 a month, link down in the description. And until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Jewel. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye.